48再度侵入成功 Double F brainstorm We made it to the game 昼夜問わず噛む絶え間なく砕くシステムにる最後
Okay, on the subject of kumite, we just started doing it in the dojo. It's kind of funny, you know, because I excelled in kumite and tournament fighting all over the world, especially in New York City back in the 70s. It is my realization that to spend too much time on kumite before a person has their foundation, before a person understands the style, can enunciate through the development of kata, bunkai, kisai, kaisai, however you want to call it, very, very limited. And, you know, the average person that doesn't know and looks at your average point karate tournament, if they're tough at all or have any kind of wrestling, boxing, MMA, blah, 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 we're gonna look at that and go, what the? Man, that stuff ain't shit. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, you look at the match between our own Shihan Franklin Duelo and Grandmaster Derek Williams. Those guys got their shit together, man. That was very, very, very entertaining to watch. And useful, you know, you can learn a lot just from watching that video. However, you know, so many people go to these tournaments, you know, and little Johnny wins the trophy for this lean and reach point that his mom and dad had to scream from the stands, "What are you, blind?" when they didn't want to call it. You know, that really, that gets me, man. All right, so you develop your basics, the fundamental techniques, okay? Let me jump off for a second. Bruce Lee, back when I was a kid, made commentary in Black Belt magazine about the fact that he was at a tournament and guys were throwing techniques and they were just refusing to call because it wasn't proper form and it was the classical mess, you know, and you gotta learn how to get out of that and be more, yes, I agree 100%. That's like saying you only need a couple of katas. Oh, all right, good. Yeah, you only need a couple of katas. You only need a couple of books. After you've read and mastered the entire library, you bring yourself down to a couple of books, right? After you've mastered the basics, foundation, proper technique, meaning behind the style, then you delve into a more free-form thing, okay? Kumite, as we know it, was gleaned from an idea that Yamaguchi Gogen Sensei had. He was a kendo man also, okay? And he's watching a kendo match and he thought to himself, we could do this with karate. On the basis of Iken Hisatsu, Ken, we know it as the fist. I'm also a sword practitioner, so I know Ken as being the sword. Ken means sword. So, one sword move, one kill. Makes sense. To make it more interesting, there's two techniques, 2 points necessary to win a kendo match. Okay, so I whack you with my sword twice, you're pretty much not existent anymore. I punch you twice, or I kick you twice. Is it the same? How good is your technique? And where did it come from? Where did you get your technology from? What are you doing, you know? Yes, kumite, very essential, good idea. And there's lots of different kinds, you know? In Okinawa, you got ippon, nippon, sanbon, 1, 2, 3 step, promise fighting, yakuso kumite. In other words, you know what I'm gonna do, I know what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna come in with reckless abandon with my move, and you better do what you're supposed to do. That's promise fighting, okay? And of course, you know, they moved around and sparred and stuff, okay? But what we know as tournament fighting, the basic tournament fighting, point fighting, supposed point fighting, came from kendo. You got Kyokushinkan, Masatatsu Oyama, over the years developed this full contact, bare knuckle fighting. Yeah man, that's hardcore. Sure is. It's a lot more realistic than the point fighting is, that's for sure. Not everybody wants to get into it. That hurt Kyokushin. A lot of people backed out of that. And also, still limited. Still limited. Why? Don't get me wrong, guys. Okay, I consider myself Kyokushin in a way because Oyama was one of my teachers. You don't punch to the face. hey, okay, well, because it's a lot more easier to knock someone's tooth out like that than it is, to kick them. All right. So you don't practice defending against hand techniques to the face. Okay, well, that's exactly what I'm going to do to you if we ever get into a fight in the street. Don't get me wrong, full respect, great style, okay? I'm just talking about the various kumites, and they all suck in one way or the other, okay? Unless you're fighting for real, which, who wants to do that? Okay, Morio Higaora's organization's got a nice thing they do besides they do that Wuko stuff too though, man, that bounce, 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 boom and all that. Okay, that's really nice. Hey, on that subject, in the same way shite kata takes another idea, okay, and runs with it as far as how kata should be done. Standardized, socialized, okay, I think it looks kind of cool and I enjoy watching it, but I also think that it kind of screws up what that kata originally meant for the benefit of the good and everybody competing and doing the same bullshit. Okay, but in the same way that shite kata or that type of traditional kata that we see all the time, that does to kata the same thing that kumite does to the fighting techniques of karate. In my opinion, a necessary after a while way of developing mai, distancing, kime, focusing, kime, lead and reach techniques tag your it, which is so dominant on the tournament scene. Bullshit, okay? There should be potential for follow-through. The technique should be done correctly. And it's a damn shame that wazari, the half point, is so hard to use on open tournaments because if they're already favoring certain people, okay? Now you're giving them the opportunity. Okay, I gotta call something because the parents are screaming, so I'll just give them a half a point, In reality, okay, it was a half-assed technique, half a point. Or you threw the kick and fell down, or in judo, the technique didn't come out exactly the way it was supposed to, blah, 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 different reasons, you got wazari. All right? So, that's my view on kumite, all right? Once again, the various aspects, there's different levels of kumite. Some are, in my opinion, better than others. I hope that I'm not offending any of you. If I am, hey man, peace. But we'll see you at the next John Jay College tournament. My guys are going to try to get a little experience out there in that, But once again, if you got me as a judge, I'm telling you right now, your technique better be good because it just bothers me. You know what I mean? It really bothers me to see the tag your it shit in kumite. And as we progress, we'll be videotaping, hopefully, some of the stuff, and we'll be talking more about the type of techniques that are used, and blah, blah, blah. And I really welcome your input on any of this, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Once again, keep in mind, not just an old school tournament fighter, but a pretty successful tournament promoter, and I may be doing that again sometime. And it's going to be interesting, just like my old ones, where you had I don't just encourage people to use takedowns, I almost demand it. And you got a 3 Mississippi rule once you hit the floor. In other words, you either have to attack or defend to or from the floor for 3 Mississippis, or back away and give up the whole thing, okay? No bullshitting around. Yeah. Grandmaster Kowloon Ang is one of the biggest poo-pooers of the kumite thing. And if you've ever seen Grandmaster Kowloon Ang moving around and actually freeform sparring, it is really funny because the guy that says that stuff is nonsense, you gotta see him spar, man. But it's nothing like what you're used to. Anyway, that's the badness of that. Once again, I welcome your input, and
してサバイブ。名前はソロモン、硬い原石叩いたドラム、大地に拝む。故郷の空は何も変わらず、ただ風は吹く、たどるルーツ。嘘つきは泥棒、嘘つきは誰かの真似、結局金。二度あることは三度ある、何度でも立ち上がる、立ち上がる、立ち上がる。誰かがライアー、汚れたゲーム、夜のメサイア。目には流す涙逃れない、誰も認めない、選べない。後ろは